Hey, Aaron Off-Roader here. Today we've got the new Ryco 4-wheel drive pre-filter kit. So this is designed to put before your standard fuel filter on your 4-wheel drive. This is a 10 micron filter with the water separator. This is a standard filter for my model as well. So this is a 5 micron filter, same as the OEM specs. So the reason you'd want to fit this is really modern diesels, some of the components like the injectors or the common rail pump are very expensive and they run very fine tolerances. So what you want to do is catch any large particles or water before it even gets near your standard filter, because most times we know if the light comes on, the water light comes on in your dash, it's already too late. You've already put some water through your system. If you're out in the desert and you fail an injector, sometimes even failing an injector will end up putting a hole through your piston. Worst case scenario, but if you're in the desert and you need a tow all the way home, it's going to cost thousands. So this could be the cheapest insurance you get, and for many 4-wheel drivers is the first mod they do. So I'm going to put this bad boy on today. I'm going to give you a quick unboxing and then show you how I'll install it, and let's go from there. So let's open this up and see what we've got inside. So slide that off, open it up, if I can get into it. Here we go. So this is what we've got in here. We've got 2 filters, so we've got one and a spare. This is the water separator bowl. This is the filter head. So it's actually versatile in the way you mount it, which I'll show you a bit later. We've got a couple of copper barbs that will fit into that, 190 and 2 straights. Yeah, and a couple of plugs, so you can pick your direction of where that one goes. That's what's in there. And then, because this is a universal kit, unfortunately I have to mount it myself, which isn't a problem if you're a little bit handy on the tools or get a mechanic to do it. Either way, I've went out and bought a meter of 5/16 fuel hose to fit the barb, and can spray paint, a couple of dollars, and a bit of 3mm by 65mm wide steel flat bar. So that is how I'm going to mount it, and I've found a spot already. So let's rip into it. So as you've seen, there's a couple of pieces to this. So your filter head. So basically the first thing you want to do is find out where you're going to mount it. You're going to end up having to mount it close to your other fuel filter, so your lines and that reach. So that's what I'm going to do. Screw the filter bowl on, and then you've got a couple of these brass fittings. So the way I'm going to mount it, I've got arrows on here, in and out. So one there, one there. And then because they give you 2 options here, you'll have 2 blanks on this side. So they supply you with plugs, and you'll just put the plugs on here. Of course, we'll seal these up a little bit later, just for a demo. That's basically what it's going to look like when you're finished. And if you ever want to drain it, just keep in mind, give yourself a little bit of room. If you unscrew it to about there, that will drain all the water and that, because it's heavier than diesel in the bottom here, and that'll drain out the bottom. So it gives you that flexibility as well. Basically, where I'm going to end up putting this is right next to my pair of steering fluid here, next to my other filter. So it's going to sit in there like that. I'm going to mount it up on this flat bar. Easy as that, happy days. Just remove that pair of steering fluid bottle, undo these 3 bolts that I've found down here, and I'll pull this bracket out. And basically what I'm doing is going to put 4 drill holes through it and 4 bolts. secure that flat bar to it, and then there's the 2 mounting bolts up the top to mount the filter head to. So here we are, I've mounted it to the bracket, put thread tape on, sealed it up, so the power steering fluid will still click in there, still get to your drain, no worries at all. Let's get it in the vehicle. Phew. Righto, so I've got my little bracket mounted here on the factory mounting points. Got the power steering reservoir on the other side. So these are all the hoses that feed this. So what I'm going to have to do is hose it up and then prime the fuel. So you want to find the inlet to this one, pull it off, put it to the inlet of this one, and then the outlet of this one to the inlet where that other hose come from. So that's how you hose it. But how you prime it, because this is a primary filter, so it's before this filter here. If I try and prime it, I don't think it'll suck through. So what I'm going to do for this time is pull the outlet off this, pump it straight into the inlet, so then all that fuel's kept clean. It'll fill this right to the top. It's got a little bleed screw on the top here, easily accessible as well. So I'll pump it until it starts coming out this other side, and then I'll know that's full. And then when I hook it up properly and prime it, the engine's going to start. So, and you're not introducing any dirt to the system. So look at this, I know I've got the right one. So you pump that, sprays out of there. So I just need a small hose, temporary little hose, pump it, coming straight out of there. I'll degrease this down a little bit later and clean that up. But for now, that's full, ready to go. So we'll just hose it up. That clip, tell you what, that clip even, you clip back onto this hose. How good is that? Clipped in. So there you go. Despite not being a direct bolting kit, I've got this to work pretty flawlessly, I reckon. All this still looks standard, tucks in pretty tight. Made a quick little bracket. That piece of steel cost me $4, about 300mm. Ended up cutting some off the top, and yeah, just use one bit of hose about that long, and that's it. 2 clamps, and yeah, we'll just finish priming it up, and then we'll give it a go, starting it, see how we go. Probably should use the bleed valve, but we'll see how it goes. Moment of truth. Lastly, just give your engine bay a bit of a clean off anywhere you spilled any diesel. Easy as that. I love this stuff, always give it a fair coating. Right, how good does that look, legends? It's in there, nice and tidy. Looks factory really, to be honest. So that's going to give me the extra added layer of protection when travelling the Australian outback, as most of we do, or even just, not every servo's got good fuel. Anyone that's been hit before will know and is pretty adamant about it, but yep, I've got that added layer of protection now. Even got a spare filter, so that's going to give me so much more confidence traveling around Australia. And I hope you can do the same, save yourselves a few bucks, cheap insurance, and get out and hit the roads. Phew.